Welcome everybody to Wellness Wednesday on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I think Janet wins the prize for the most green. So way to go. Hope you guys had a phenomenal St. Patrick's Day. And I'm excited. Oh, there you go. There's the green. Love that, Polly Grace. um, so I'm actually, I'm excited to share a story with you guys tonight and to talk about the topic. And I want you to think about, why you're here and what got you here. So we're part of a community that our main goal is to help each other and others really find their health, which really allows them to live a life that maybe involves them being a better mother, a wife, a husband, a provider, or maybe a student, right? What we've noticed over the last year of the status of the world is I'm watching kids go through high school without a graduation. That was what we thought it would be. I'm watching parents send kids off to college to live in a dorm room. I'm watching parents have a drastic shift in their career status. I'm seeing a lot more fear and uncertainty. And so the topic tonight is about mental health and what we can do to be able to really deal with what's going on in life in a different way, to experience life still in the way we want, which is to really feel connected to each other, create wonderful memories, and hopefully impact. And so let me share with you a couple of things that are, I'm going to share my screen with you. A couple of slides that I think are fitting for tonight. So these are just some interesting statistics that relate to what we're seeing in the world. And so this is what people, other kind of ask questions, and this is, so 72% of people that were surveyed said that this experience, right, is having them have more fear. 70% of it is disrupting their lives a lot or some. 39% of the people surveyed had lost a job or income. And let's think about people that like who do you know that they feel like their life has been vastly disrupted? From my kids and their high school experience, I had one graduate last year. I've got one that's a junior this year. She's a junior class president, and yet there's no dances, no planning and stuff that she would normally do. People that have lost their jobs, 45% say it's affected their mental health in a negative way. 74% believe that the worst is yet to come. 79% are worried that it will trigger some type of recession. 82% fear the nation's healthcare system will be overrun. So and I think about, who do you know that's maybe felt like some of these things? This is just in relationship to among university students. 11.4% suicidal thoughts, 22% severe distress, high level perceived stress, 25%, so 1/4 of people. Severe depression, 16%, high level anxiety, again, a quarter, so 1 in 4 university students, right? At a time in life where people are usually pretty excited about their future and what's going to happen, very different than what they thought. So this is what I want to talk to is this. This is actually from Harvard. So the gut-brain connection, just according to Harvard, a troubled intestine can send signals to the brain, just as the troubled brain can send signals to the gut. Therefore, a person's stomach or intestinal distress can be the cause or the product of anxiety, stress, or depression. That's because the brain and the gastrointestinal tract are intimately connected. So think about what's going on in the world right now. And maybe yourself, you felt this. You felt like you're worried about something and you felt your stomach like give you problems, and maybe vice versa. So what are we going to do about that? So here's something I thought was kind of interesting. Almost twice as many women as men struggle from some type of digestive health issue on a weekly basis. 62% of people worldwide suffer from digestive complaints. That's constipation, indigestion, diarrhea at least once a year. And here's a really fun fact. 95% of your serotonin, which is a major mood influencing hormone, is produced in your small intestine. 70% of your immune system is located in your gut. So think about what's going on in the world, whether you're feeling things mentally or you're worried about your immune system. it starts in the gut, in the digestive tract. So, and here's why. Your probiotics, which is part of your gut, this is what they do, right? They help you absorb things. So it's to digest things, assimilate them, and then utilize them. It all starts with a healthy gut. So I want to go to one slide here. So here's what I want you to think about. What kind of garden do you have? So what's the goal of a garden, right? The goal of a garden is to either be beautiful or to produce things. All right. So your intestinal tract, your brain, it can only produce the right vegetables or the right product based upon how healthy that it is. In order for a garden to be healthy, the soil has to be really healthy. And then it takes time once the soil is healthy for you to produce the vegetables or the herbs or whatever else that you want. So when it comes back to what I said a minute ago, as far as just how you feel digestively, here's a couple of things to keep in mind. This is what happens. So in order for it to have a healthy garden in your body, you have to have a healthy intestinal tract that literally starts from your mouth all the way down. And it takes the right soil, which is the microorganisms, which are what they call pre and postbiotics. So that's the soil. Now, these are the things that allow the environment to be right so that when food goes in, it's digested, broken down, and then it can be utilized by other parts of the body. So people can eat foods like kefir. They're fermented foods. Kefir is one of those things. Kombucha is one of those drinks. So there's different types of foods. There are different supplements, okay, that allow us to create an environment that's healthy. So, and then there's other things that can damage that environment. So let's take, for instance, just basic things like the soil, right? So like think of that as your fiber, which is your pre and your postbiotics. So let's just pretend like you don't eat really very much fiber. So then if you don't have enough fiber, you're not churning up that soil. So in a garden, if you don't rotate that soil, you don't produce very good vegetables. So that's your pre and your postbiotic. All right. So when you put the seeds into the soil, which would be your probiotics, you can't have any good garden. All right. So, and if you don't have a garden that's got good soil that's churned up and vegetables that are growing, or seeds that are good and healthy in that, you're not going to then be able to take the food that you're currently eating, break it down, and turn it into energy, which in some people's case, that means energy for your brain to think right or energy for your body to move, right? So having intestinal health is critical. So here's some skills. For you, I want you to just, if we take a couple of things home tonight, it's these things. Your garden is a result of what you're eating. So key is eating foods with fiber. That's what they call pre and postbiotics. All right. So that's fermented foods and that's foods with fiber. So fiber does not come in a box, a bag, or a can, right? It's from your vegetables that you have to chew. All right. And then fermented foods like kefir, kefir and like kombuchas and yogurts, other fermented type foods like pickles, like those are fermented foods that are going to have some probiotics in them, and also the pre and postbiotics. So that you'll hear things like fermented yeast extracts. Those type of things are also considered postbiotics. All right. Then you have to have good bacteria in your digestive tract. So just the ingredients have to be there. The soil has to be right. And then you have to actually physically use your brain, right? So if you want your brain to be happy, you've got to, for instance, let's just say a tiger chases you. Your brain is not going to produce happy hormones. It's going to create stress hormones, right? Whether that tiger is real or not. So one of the things that's important is one, to have a healthy digestive tract, but then to put your brain in a healthy environment. So I want you, like tonight, I'm so grateful to have so many of you guys on here tonight, because you're in a space where you're learning about things that you can do and maybe things that you should not do, but I'm giving you tools and solutions that allow you to feel like you have some control over what you want, which could be, hey, I want to have a healthy immune system, okay? Or I want to have a healthy emotional system. You now have tools that allow you to have control over that. because you can only control what you can control, and you can't control the other things. So you don't want to put attention on the things you cannot control. You got to put attention on things you can control. So for instance, you really can't control like what you breathe outside. Like if you walk outside and you live in this environment, you're going to deal with Wi-Fi, and you're going to deal with electromagnetic pollution, and you're going to deal with pollution that's in the air and the water. So you can minimize that, right? And then you can work on improving the barriers to allow your body not to absorb as much of that. And it all starts right here. So here's your action steps. One, if you limit your exposure where you can to those things that are unhealthy for you and that are damaging your intestinal tract. Two, give your body what it needs in order to have a good, healthy digestive tract and immune system. So that's prebiotics, that's postbiotics, and that's probiotics, right? Those three things are critical. And whether you're getting them through food or you're getting them through the right type of supplements, right? Or both, okay? And then ask yourself this question. If you're worried about something, ask yourself, what can you do about that something? All right. So let's just take, for instance, what's going on right now, COVID. All right. So what can you control about that? All right. You can control how healthy you are and how you're exposed. So by doing so, then you are controlling the controllables. But if you're worried about trying to control somebody else, then you're giving away your power. All right. So look at the things you can control. And let's, for instance, let's just say you were a worrier. I had a lady today, she went in to see a neurologist. And she literally had migraines for a long time, 25, she had migraines the last month, almost every single day. The neurologist told her, look, we can't find anything structurally wrong with you. Right. So there's nothing wrong in the MRI. So she said, it's important for you to start doing yoga every day. Why yoga? Yoga is a way to help naturally learn how to relax her. Right. So incorporate some type of stress modulator or management into your life. And if that for you is being part of this group, which I'm grateful that you are, or that's walking, that's yoga, that's Tai Chi, that's swimming, something that allows you to move your body and to move your brain and not get stuck in the repetitive thought patterns so that you feel like you're not trying to control things you cannot control. So those simple steps, as simple as that is, you're controlling the controllables, right? So for me, I take every single day. So what I do today, guys, I ate two salads today. That was my dinner and my lunch was salads. Okay. And then I had my prebiotics, I had my probiotics, I had my postbiotics. All right. I took other specific nutrients that are critical for my body to function, because I don't feel like you're able to get 100% through diet. Now, if you're like Janet, who's like phenomenal and how she controls her food, I think she probably gets more than the average person, because she literally looks at how to combine foods in order to like maximize what she gets from foods. So do that the best you can. And then for me, I'll do stretches and stuff tonight because I haven't done any yoga today. I'm going to go here in just a minute and hang out with the young men's group, and we're going to play pickleball. That's our exercise. So the therapeutic for me is I get to beat up on 13, 14, 15-year-olds, right? And I get to take my aggression out on them, right? So just something that's physically allows me to exercise. And tomorrow I'll probably hike. So find whatever that might be for you, all right? So please decide what's right for you. For me, I choose to do a combination of food and supplements and activities, and I'll get adjusted tomorrow too, physically. For me, I'm a chiropractor. I believe in getting work done, whether it's massage or chiropractic. Find something that fits you. Okay. All right. So next week, there'll be another topic. It won't be on St. Patrick's Day. All right. But we're going to focus a little more on probably immune and gut health again, because it's just right now such a hot and needed important item for people to understand what they can do. Don't give up your control. Right. Look at where you're giving up your mental control and decide what you choose to give up. Right. Super, super important. If you'll do that, then the reality, we're living in one of the best times in the history of the world to live. The reality is one of the safest, most productive, most opportunities. available to each of us. Yes, it's different than what a year ago, but in the reality, there's a lot of opportunity for each of us. So thanks for being part of this group. Worry that didn't have stomach pain. I just don't like. Almost so many kids when they come in and they're having stomach pains, they also typically worry. So this is a solution. Some of it's biochemical, right, or nutritional based. So give them the right things. At the same time, like give them some skill sets to where they're not fearing. Now, the reality is we have lots of tools, we have lots of resources. We've got a phenomenal community that's solution based, that's tool based, right? Invite people into that. Give them some tools that they can do. They're not perfect, but having some tools and some ability to actually make choices that will make improvement removes a lot of the fear. They say if you're prepared, you shall not fear. So if what you're plugging into mentally is making you feel like you don't have any control, then that's not a reality. Like if you feel like you're losing the control here, you need to unplug from whatever, in my opinion, but unplug from whatever you're listening to that way, because there's always things you can do.
Thanks for watching, and remember, one change can have an enormous effect. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell and the like, and we'll see you next time on Love to Live.